Hello, beautiful souls, and how are we, Universal Angel? Excited to jump on and share some love and divination with you. So, guys, I'm super excited. I've been working a lot more with the Hermetic Tarot as I step into a lot more of the Rosicrucian workings, as well as the Golden Light, or excuse me, the Golden Dawn. Trying to balance those pillars, if you will, or follow that middle pillar. Now, guys, we will also be utilizing the Flower of Life, and this will be for the general collective, so the Divine Masculine and Feminine. Now, guys, I do choose my own spreads at times, and you guys know me, I like to roll with numerology. So I was talking about the number 4, right? 4 is symbolic of, when we think of shapes, 4 is symbolic of that square or that perfect foundation. And then when we get to the 8, which is the equivalent of everything, that is that infinite, right? Because we're looking for that infinite self-mastery achievement, if you will. So that is my choices, and as far as why we have chosen these cards. Now, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Again, this is out of the Hermetic Tarot. So first we have King of Wands. Let's talk about a king for a moment. The king is very confident in his power. He's very firm. And when we talk about wands, this is of the fire element. So say Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this may be particular to you or not. But Spirit is saying this is amazing to stay in your power, with that passion. This is also, the fire is also symbolic of the willpower, the confidence, the strength, and the drive. But something to be mindful of is, guys, I like to call it spirit lit, when we're super excited and, just kundalini blazing and that major high vibration, we must be mindful. You see all these flames, because if we are too light, oftentimes when that pendulum swings, we end up way in the dark, so to speak. So it's really important to balance and stay grounded. Otherwise, we become too spirit lit and not very grounded. So Spirit is saying, keep firm in that King of Wands position, but stay grounded. Why do I say that? Well, let's take a brief over these cards real quick. Take a look at these pictures, guys. So again, we have the Prince of the Chariot of Fire. So this is also symbolic of transmutation. Spirit is saying you've been doing a lot of purging, a lot of karmic cycles coming to a close, as well as new ones opening. But it's really important to focus on that transmutation. But then we come to the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. Let's say that again. Lord of Loss and Pleasure. So this could be pleasure, guys. Let's talk about the cups, for example. Well, the cups in tarot are symbolic of so many things. Like, for example, the Holy Grail, which is the perfect balance of the polarity becoming the one with the mind, body, and spirit. But let's more importantly, in this particular read, let's talk about the importance of cups and what they represent as far as our emotions and our love. Now, guys, let's check out that 5. That 5 in numerology is symbolic of change. So Spirit is saying there has to be a change here, because you see our pentacle is upside down. So there's a loss in the pleasure. You can see things are trying to grow and things are trying to blossom, but it's just not there when everything could be balanced. So Spirit is saying we must balance that pentacle, right? So stay firm in Spirit, and then balance that pentacle to turn it more upright, right? So this is about, even though there's pleasure around us, this is important to take a look at what still lies ahead of us, not just those spilled cups or those spilled emotions behind us. That is representative of the 5 of Cups. Next, guys, it's interesting because we have wands, cups, and then pentacles, right? Pentacles are symbolic of all of the elements: earth, air, fire, water, ether, as well as our physical plane, our physical health, our mind, body, and spirit. The mixture and meld of all of those balancing elements like earth, air, fire, water, and ether, as within, as well as so without. So this is about 7 of Pentacles. It says Lord of Success Unfulfilled. So, Spirit is saying, guys, let's think about this pentacle here too. Remember what I was channeling in flipping it upwards, because typically in the 5 of Cups in traditional Rider-Waite, you will see the man cloaked in black, and he's like very somber, and he's got these, 3 spilled cups, and he's looking at the cups that are spilled. So all those negative emotions versus trusting his intuition and seeing the 2 shiny golden cups that lay there that hold that pleasure, because in all reality, guys, we hold the pleasure. We hold the nirvana within. But we must balance our pentacle. We must stay firm in our King of Wands and our King of Spirit. Now, I remind us of our pentacles because 7 is symbolic of our spirit, our legion, being not just represented represented by spirit, but our legions, our ancestors. But to know we are divinely supported. Now, this is the 7, and so Spirit is saying of Pentacles. So remember what that means. of mind, body, spirit, earth, air, fire, water, and ether, as within, so without. So guys, I'm talking about these aspects of ourselves that we hold within the elements must be balanced within one's self in order to really grab a hold of that success. Look at those thorns there. And remember, something's trying to grow here, guys, but it's all about keeping that passion with spirit, not becoming too light or dark, keeping that balance, making this change and really seeing what the fruits of your life. This is Spirit is saying, guys, you're divinely supported. We have you. We have you. You know, let's get to the growth and the bloom on those pentacles. Now, remember, pentacles can be symbolic of the balance of those elemental factors like our doshas within our personalities or our astrological chart, as well as our simple nature within, right? So that's balancing our physical health, our energy health, as well as our spiritual and mental health. And Spirit reminds us with that 7 that you are so close, or you are divinely supported, but you are so close because the success is unfulfilled, but it's there. And how do I know this? Because next, guys, out comes 10 of cups. So we're talking about cups and let's talk about the cups meaning of the Holy Grail here. Guys, I think the Holy Grail, a lot of people think of it as just a simple cup or maybe a special cup even. But what I believe is the Holy Grail is truly the perfect blend and balancing of the mind, body, and spirit, which also must have a cohesion of the balance of the both polarities and spirit as well. So let's talk about that caduceus, or that divine masculine and feminine we all hold within that must be balanced, right? To keep our pinnacle upright and to keep us aligned with spirit. This is how we get the 10 of Cups, which is the ultimate Lord of perfected success. Look, your cup is overflowing. Guys, it is up to us. Look at the difference in the cups here. You see the light cups versus the dark cups, you know, but those cups are still there. It's just you've lost the pleasure. You've went downward. You flipped that pentacle. So Spirit is saying, don't worry, thorns or not, I've got you. And remember to keep that bond with Spirit, as well as work on your chariot, which is your spiritual vessel. Why do I say that? Well, look below. King of Cups, Prince of the Chariot of Waters. So when we think of cups, remember this is being in our power. And this is also with the reflection of our emotions. So guys, how I also roll with my spreads here is that we have, this is an influence of this card, right? So we have the King of Wands. So Spirit is saying, guys, we need to pay a little bit more attention to our emotions to keep that balance, right? And this is, remember, we were talking about the elements in the doshas. We have water and we have fire. And also Spirit has mentioned the pentacles, representative of earth. Next, we have 3 of Pentacles. Guys, this is also reaffirming that we must have the balance. Looky there, the hand, right? So the hand that's holding you, of that mind, body, and spirit, those 3 worlds, as within, so without, as above, so below. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. This is also symbolic of 3 of Pentacles is the Lord of material work. So it is, you know, obtaining that balance of the pentacles, as well as those elemental factors with, you know, on the outer planes. And this is when we can start to see our perfected success in the realm of the pentacles, but also where Spirit is saying, especially where you need it, guys, and that is in the area of spirit as well as your emotions. Now, when I tuned into why was the Lord of success unfulfilled? Why is that? Because Spirit's saying, guys, here's all your pentacles, here's your abundance, here's your health, here's your wealth. What's the deal? Well, I asked. And Spirit says the moon in reverse, which means things that are hidden have not come into light, because this is what the moon symbolizes as a major arcana. The moon is symbolic of following our intuition. You see those pillars, the balance of the light and dark. That ultimate cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Oh, let's back up. Spirit just said, wait a minute, you did the 3. So guys, 3 is also symbolic when we think of the 3 of Pentacles. 3 is symbolic also too of the Holy Trinity, the Vesica Pisces, so many things, mind, body, and spirit. But it's also important for the cycle of birth death, and rebirth, okay, or life, death, and rebirth, symbolic of the scarab there, as well as, protection and sacredness. And then we have the Pisces, which is the major arcana astrological sign that goes with the moon. So maybe some Pisces might be struggling in this area, or maybe a Pisces might be influencing you or affecting this situation that's causing that's causing you to be unfulfilled when you have all of these things in front of you. Or maybe it's causing, maybe you haven't followed your intuition with that, as far as with spirit, and consulted your emotions and then balanced that out with your thoughts. And I say that because out pops the Four of Swords. Guys, 4 in numerology is symbolic of our perfect foundation, if you will, or that square, that solid foundation. And it says, rest, Lord of rest from strife. So I said, what is preventing the collective consciousness from receiving that Lord of perfected success? Aside from the need to balance our cups, so our emotions, as well as our vessels and our spirit, as well as make the changes needed and necessary so that we may accept the good things that are already in our life, balance mind, body, and spirit on all of the realms. Know that we are divinely supported, trust our intuition, but be mindful of our thoughts. Everything from the void, from that center point in all of us, that divine sacred spot, lies the void. Now, from the void becomes next the thought, and this is how we manifest. So Spirit is saying, in order to manifest the Lord of perfected success on all of these elements, guys, remember to balance, the light and the dark, and you see the different hands and how they're turning. So be flexible, but also build that perfect foundation. Guys, let's go ahead and pick just one from the Flower of Life deck, and we have animals. It says the energy of animals reflects our instinctual nature, allowing us to draw on their skills and abilities. Our instincts are what we generally describe as gut feeling, intuition, or psychic ability. Playing or working with or just observing animals, either directly or symbolically, brings us in touch with our own animal nature, an aspect of ourselves often repressed. So guys, if you're seeing any of those animals, if they stick out whatsoever, look up the animal medicine. Our friends on the Divic realm are here to help us. It says we are all one. Life is life, flowing from the same source, manifesting as different species. We are all streams of uniqueness, ever-expanding love and light, traveling our own path to experience life in new and varied forms. Once you feel your own uniqueness and love, it becomes easy to communicate with life in all forms, feeling their originality, instead of trying to communicate through your opinions, values, and conclusions. So guys, there's where Spirit's saying, we need to balance all of these things so that we may have that pleasure that exists, that success and that balance, and also to obtain our chariot, our light body. It says animals are fully present in the now, a gentle reminder to adapt and adjust in every situation. Here you will be in the flow, and the path of least resistance will prevent itself. All right, guys, so let's not forget, if anybody's seeing any animal totems, or say if you're unfamiliar with animal totems or anything, whether it be your birth animal, anything, just give your sister a shout here. I will go ahead and leave a link to book, as well as, guys, I am fully open. Schedule is fully open for all healings, all supplies, all ritual items if needed, as well as numerology, past life regressions, and healings. Let's go ahead and use some numerology and see what the dice have to say. All right, so we have a 1 and a 6, which is 7. Now, in numerology, we break everything out, or everything down first. So we have that 1, which is that new beginning. So Spirit is saying, here, you have this message. Trust that new beginning. And then we have the 6, which is symbolic of harmony and reciprocity, right? That balance, that perfect balance that we were talking about. And altogether it comes to a 7, which, if you remember, reminds us that you are all divinely supported and protected along your path and journey of self-mastery. May each of you stay blessed, happy, and loved. Till next time, Universal Angel signing out.